Hi, guys. Glad you're back this week. I think I've got everything going. Please let me know if you have trouble hearing me or seeing anything. Lives can sometimes be, act up a bit. Let me see, get my chat up for YouTube. And I will try my very best to comment during the video. Sometimes I'll miss some of your comments because I'll be busy making projects and I don't want to miss any of them. So I just want to make sure. Oh, I forgot to get something. Well, you'll see it from, if you saw last week's video, you'll see the cards that the door prize person will win. I went ahead and did the drawing, and I'll go ahead and announce that here in just a minute. I'm going to give a few more people time. Oh, hi, Margaret. I made it on time. You sure did make it on time today. Oh, and you're welcome checking on the catalogs. That was no problem. We should be getting them really soon. Okay. Got a few people on here now. I think we'll go ahead and get started. So I hope you enjoyed today's cards. If you were in my stamp camp last week, there were 8 of you. You've already seen these cards, but I knew the vast majority of the people, if not everybody that's watching this video today, hasn't even seen these cards yet. Now, Stampin' Up! Is doing this really neat campaign right now. I think it's going through the end of June. It's called Everyday Heroes, and they're encouraging us to make thank you cards and send them to our everyday heroes that we know, people that have helped us out in a lot of different ways. It doesn't have to just be the nurses, doctors, all the people that we think of at the policemen, but definitely send them to those people too. But if you know of anybody else, hi Becky. Oh, thanks for sharing the video. Yeah, that's what I was going to tell you here in a minute. But just that's what the everyday heroes are. So I've got 3 really nice thank you cards. 2 of them are probably a little more feminine, and one is more of a masculine card, but it can also be for anybody that loves beach scenes. So that's really for anybody. So let's go ahead. I'm going to switch screens for just a second. Oh no, while I'm talking, when Becky shared, I want to let you know what's going on here. If you live in the United States and share my video, you will get put in a drawing to win the cards that I'm going to make today. And I had a few people share my video last week. I thank you so much for that. That helps get my name out there a little bit, and hopefully get more people coming to my YouTube and Facebook lives. And I am on Facebook and YouTube Live at the exact same time. I'm getting comments. Oh, hi Kathleen, glad you're here again. And oh, I get flustered when I look at the comments. Sorry about that. Lost my train of thought. I love seeing you guys, and thank you so much for commenting. It's so much fun to interact with you guys. And I'll be back every Tuesday unless I'm sick or there's a holiday or something like that. But I do want to announce last week's winner. I went ahead and did the drawing. It's easier for me to do the drawing before the video because I always wait till right before the video to see if anybody else has shared the video. That's where I was. If you share today's video, make sure you comment, share like Becky just did here on Facebook, and do the same thing on YouTube. And share my video, because when you tell me shared in the comments or in the live chat, that way I know to add you to the list. Sometimes Facebook and YouTube don't let me know who shared the video. So please share the video, comment, share below. You do need to live in the United States because I can't mail out product or cards or anything like that to people other than people in the United States per Stampin' Up! Rules. So thanks for understanding. And if you are out of the country, I still am so glad you're here, and I hope you have fun watching the video. So I am going to do a little thing, make this look a little fancy. Drum roll, please. I wish I had a little drum roll going. But the winner, let me find my little tab here. It's the first time I've used this part of my software. Okay, here we go. Here's the winner. Da 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 da. Turn it on, Christy. Becky White. And Becky was the one that just shared. I almost told it, and I thought, no, I'll do my fancy little thing here in the front. So, Becky, what you need to do, so you're here on Facebook. If you could message me and give me your mailing address, I will get the cards that I made last week mailed out to you. I meant to bring those over here. They're over at my desk, and I don't want you to have to wait. You're welcome. And I'm sure you're going to like them. Well, you've seen them. You were watching the video last week. And like I said, if you share my video this week and comment shared and live in the United States, I'll be able to mail the cards out that I'm making today. And they're 3, and they're quick and easy. And my ladies that made them in camp really liked them. So let me get this turned off. There we go. And now we will go, let me get my YouTube chat back. I'm also going to switch screens here. That way I can just get my YouTube chat back up and not lose it again. Okay. Now, first off, I want to remind you the retired list is here for the January to June mini catalog. It started June 1st through the 30th. So that just started the day after we did the live last week. There are a lot of products that are up to 50% off, and those tend to be the ones that sell out quickly. So make sure you order your favorites before they disappear. And so I've got a link down below that you can click. They'll take you directly to all the retired products in my online store, and you can place an order there. And I want you to also not to forget about the kits collection. It's buy one, get one free. Just started the day on June 1st, ends June 30th, just like the retired list. And I featured these last week. I made some cards from one of the kits. I can't remember the name of it top of my head. But I think everybody liked them. I got a lot of comments on those. But the way it works, all of the kits in the kits collection are part of the sale. It's based on availability, though. So if they sell out, you won't be able to get them during the BOGO. You need at least 2 kits in your cart. So for every 2 kits that you have in your cart, the most expensive one will be marked down 50% off. I love that feature that they mark off the most expensive kit. I've done BOGOs in other stores before, and they knock it off the least expensive. But Stampin' Up does the most expensive. And there are no limits on the promotion. So you can get as many groups of 2 to get a half price kit as you like. So I've got a link to the kits collection down below my description too. And last but not least, I want to tell you about my monthly thank you gifts. These are the new ones. They just started June 1st also, run until June 30th. So everything I'm telling you just is month of June. And if you place any size order using my host code, this one right here, you will get put in my list to get my VIP exclusive video. There are always 2 projects. If you place at least a $50 order before shipping and tax, you'll also get the supplies to make the first card in the video. If you place a $70 order, you will get everything I just named off, plus the rustic metallic adhesive backed dots. And this is what they look like. I wanted to show you what these look like. They are really nice. I love these. And I actually made a card just yesterday. They're in there's a masculine suite, but it works really good in on your feminine cards too. And I did a feminine card yesterday, and it looked really nice. So you get these free with a $70 order, plus the other 2 things I just listed. If you place a $140 order before shipping and tax, you will also get the Glossy Dots Assortment. I love these. This is my second pack already. My other pack, I don't have any in my pool party. I've used those all up already in a class. But these are so pretty. I love the way they glitter. So you get these also free with a $70 order before shipping and tax. Then if you go up to $170 before shipping and tax, don't use the host code. If your order is $150 or more, then you will get Stampin' Rewards from Stampin' Up, and you'll also get my thank you gifts. And you will get the supplies for the second card in my VIP video. Now, the way I do this, I add up all the orders you place in the month of June. So each individual order will be added up before the shipping and tax, and that will determine what you get. So if you can't place a great big order to get all of these at once, you can spread it out over the month to be able to get all of them if you'd like. So I think we're done with all the business stuff. I want to make sure you knew about that stuff. Let me put these over here to the side. Got to make room because we are going to be making 3 cards. And I've got them set up in old boxes. Normally I have them all set up here in front of me. I'm going to bring my box in. My Stamp Camp ladies know what this looks like. And this is the first one. So I'm going to get all my little supplies out here. I'm going to be using the Best Butterflies bundle. And let me go ahead and hurry up and get these out. I need this one here. Let me look at my card again. Let me show you this. Yeah, it's this die here. And I'm also going to need this die and the large butterfly body die. Okay. So this is a really neat bundle. It's in the annual catalog. And if you purchase it as a bundle, you save 10% rather than purchasing separately. So that's what I'm using here. I'm also using the Charming Sentiments bundle. Excuse me, got a little dry today. Then I've got, well, actually, I think it's allergies. It's actually humid outside today. But I've got a dehumidifier. It runs in here, and I think it's getting dry here in the basement. Excuse me. Okay, I think I'm getting my voice back. The neat thing I like about this bundle is that all of these greetings here have dies to cut them out. So cool. I'm using the thank you stamp. And this is the die that die cuts the thank you stamp out. So you'll get to see this one in action. And this is also in the annual catalog. Actually, everything I'm using today is in the annual catalog, except for the bundle on the last card. And that's in the January to June, but you'll see that here in a minute. Then here are my new favorite dies right now. These are the Deckled Rectangles. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 dies. And the die I'm going to be using, I love the little deckled edging that it makes on all of these. And I need to look at my cheat sheet. I'm using number 4. So I always start with the smallest. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the 4th one. So that's the one I need. So I'm going to put these back in my box because I need all the room I can get. Now I have already embossed my piece, and I'll show you here in a minute. I'm using the Painted Posies 3D embossing folder. Love this folder. This is one of my thank you gifts last month. And I'm also using these colors, Fresh Freesia, Calypso Coral, and Parakeet Party. Now, one thing, now I'm getting these out, I just remembered I forgot, last week was crazy. I forgot to do the, oh, aren't those colors pretty? I love the colors. I got them all from the designer series paper. Now, oh, let's see. Oh, yeah. I didn't get the blog post up on my blog. I usually put a blog post up. I will try to get the one up for this one today or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow since the day's almost over. But I will try to do that every week. I can't believe I didn't do it last week. So I'll make sure I get that up here this week. Last week's video so everybody can see all the sizes and everything so you don't have to sit and write those down as I'm making the video. So we've got this stamp here and the body. Getting all this situated here. It's one thing when you do more than one card, I've got to do some organizing here as we're going. So when I do my classes, I always put everything in an envelope. There we go. So get that out of the way. And here is that beautiful Painted Posies. Isn't that neat? I love this. It's so pretty. And I love that it's a 6x6 folder, so you can make it as wide or as narrow as you want. And with it being 6x6, you could even have it be a horizontal with the images. Okay, now the inside of the card, let's go ahead and get that out of the way. I'm going to get my card over here where I can see it. I'm going to take my Stampin' Pierce mat, because this is a photopolymer stamp set. And let's see, I'm going to grab my purple. I'm looking to see how I did this. Oh, this is the one I did, the purple. It really doesn't matter. I could switch them around. I'm going to use my Fresh Freesia. This is one of the new, no, actually last year's in colors. Almost got ready to say it's one of the new ones, but it isn't. I'm going to stamp this down here. Okay. And then I love being able to build my butterfly. And we've had butterfly stamp sets before, but this one is so different. That's why I like it so much. It's got more of a retro feel to it. So this is Parakeet Party. I'm going to ink this up. And it's going to go right here on top. Here, I'm going to stand up so I can see what I'm doing here. Just a little bit. Don't want to get too far away from my microphone because then you won't hear me. There we go. So we've got our butterfly there. Oh, I'm getting out of the video. Sorry about that. Now we'll take the pretty Calypso Coral. This one is a, Soft Subtle. Not Soft Subtle. Subtles. Soft Subtles is from years ago. This is the Subtle collection. I don't know why I have trouble remembering that this one's just Subtles. And then we're going to put this, even after all these years, and I'm going to stamp this one right here in the middle. There we go. So now we've got our butterfly. So that's the inside of our card. So I'll put this over to the side. Now we're going to do some more stamping. Let me look at my card. We will grab this piece here. This one is, I've got too many cheat sheets here. Let's see. Oh, 3 by 2 3/4. This is one I'm going to stamp my butterfly and my greeting on it. So we will go ahead and we're going to do this in pieces. Okay. So we'll do the green one. I'll do it right here. Then we'll do our Fresh Freesia one. You know what? I may not have enough room on this one. Might have to go get another white piece. Then we're going to put, I think I cut this one wrong. Yep, I'm sure I did. I'm going to have to go grab another white piece. I know right where one's at. I meant to bring it over here just in case I needed it. And of course I didn't. If I had brought it over here, I wouldn't have needed it. Yep, I'm going to have to go get it. Hold on just a second. I knew I should have grabbed that. Okay, here we go. Now this one I will put, you could just use scrap pieces of white too, because I've got so many scraps of white. There we've got my body for the butterfly. And I'm also going to stamp my thank you in Calypso Coral. So I'll put this right here. Okay. Now, I think that is all the that is all the stamping we need to do. So close all these up. I'm going to put them in my little box here. It's going to make it a lot easier to go to the next card when we're there. And I think we're going to need to get this over here, get that out of the way. Because this is a little easier, and plus all these dies do fit in this, which is nice. So to do die cutting, you need the base plate. Let me turn this around. Number 1. Get it so you can see it here. There we go. And then 2 standard cutting plates, which are number 2s. Let's go ahead. I don't know if I can get all of these. Well, we might be able to. Now, the one thing, there is no magnetic plate. And speaking of magnetic plate, hold on, I need to get some tape here. I think I've got some right here. They had some quality issues on this one again. I've still been using mine, but the magnetic plate for the big machine, they have discontinued it already. I think what it is, mine hasn't been messing up yet, but I have a feeling it's the self-healing mat that's on top. And they're just having trouble getting that to work right. And Stampin' Up, they always want their products to be high quality. So they've pulled it off the shelves again. Hopefully they'll be able to come up with another one without a self-healing mat. They'll have to think. I think they might have to make it so it's a platform, a thick one with a magnet on top. We'll see what they come up with. So I'm back to using my tape again, but this one didn't have one yet. They hadn't finished making it yet. Now, while we're waiting for it, I'm going to use my Post-it tape. I wanted to grab my wide one, but I don't know what I did with it, so we'll use my thin one here. I need to stand up again, make sure I can get these on right. Hopefully you can still hear me. Put that right across there. Now I'm going to grab my thank you one, and look how, it would help if I did it the right direction, but look how nice this gets in there. I love that, and I don't have it just right because I want to get some tape here. And if you don't have Post-it tape, you can use washi tape. You can even use torn up Post-it notes. I like the tape because there's adhesive on all the way across it. But it's the same adhesive that is on a Post-it note, so I don't have to worry about it hurting my cardstock. Now we will grab these. So see, you can even do more than one die on this little guy, this little machine here. It's nice and handy. And we've even got some little embossing folders that fit it too. So we'll go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do one on each side because I don't want that to move on me. One more here. I could have die cut these ahead of time, but I thought, oh, this way you can see how it works. Hopefully, yeah, I think I'm still in the video. There we go. If I can get a hold of it. There we go. And this one, whenever I put the tape on, I always want to make sure I've got tape on the inside of the die too, and that keeps it in place a lot better. Then you put a standard cutting plate again on top. We will run this through. And then we'll have all of these ready to go. Oh, it doesn't look like I did that purple one just right, but that's okay. I'm at an angle. It looked right at first. It definitely didn't move. That was my fault. I thought sure I had it on there right. Throw these in my box. We'll put these here because we're going to be die cutting a little bit more later, since we've got 3 cards here. Okay, then we've got this one here. Yeah, the ones closest to me are lined up just fine, but isn't that cool? I love how that lines up. Now we don't have to fussy cut those out. I've seen so many cards where people have fussy cut it around the greeting just a little bit. And I was never brave enough to do it. And now we have some with dies. And there's our, yeah, I lined it up much better. The ones that were closer to me, I could see them better. Okay. Get those out of the way. I must admit, I do miss that magnetic plate, but I'm sure they'll come up with another one. Tape, in the meantime, works just fine. Those scraps out of the way. And, oh, we are ready to put this together. Okay, we will switch some things around here. Bring all these pieces in. And this is a card base. This is that pretty parakeet party. This is a new in color. It's 8.5 by 5.5, regular size. Yeah, I'm not good at fussy cutting either, Becky. Sometimes I am, but I do it every once in a while. But yeah, there's some people that are so good at it. And some people love doing it. I don't mind too every once in a while, but I'm not a humongous fan. Dies make it so much easier. Okay. Oh, hi, Sleepy Crafter. I don't know you're, oh, from California. Thanks for coming. I'm glad you could watch today. Okay, so we've got our card base. Now I'm going to take this piece. This is a Fresh Freesia piece. It's 4 by 5 1/4. And like I said, I already embossed that with that painted posies. And we will just put this. Oh, take that back. I almost forgot. The ladies, if you're any of my camp ladies are watching, they're probably laughing at me. I almost forgot to put the ribbon down. So we're going to put this designer series paper on here. I always tell them, don't forget the ribbon. I just about did it. So this time I'm going to, now this is a little different from the one I used. I used different paper, but it's the same colors. And then with this whole pack, there are a lot of different colors in it too. So it's not just these 3 colors that I'm using today. I can't remember all of them, but there are a lot of really pretty colors. So I've got the designer series paper on. I've got 2 pieces of the Fresh Freesia open weave ribbon. They're both 6 inches. So we're going to put this around here. And I know it's going to be about right here. So I'm going to turn this around. Oops, this keeps sticking to my finger. Okay, I know it's going to be about right there. So I'm going to put some adhesive right back here. I'm going to do 2 strips to make it a little wider in case I don't get it right where I want it. And now I can take this. Here's my adhesive. I'm going to put this one around, and it caught the adhesive. Put this, make sure it's straight. That looks pretty straight. And then we will put this down. Now that the ribbon's on there, I can put it on the card base. And I always put a little bit of adhesive on the ribbon too, because that seems to be where it likes to pop up on me if I don't. Then we'll put this right here in the center of the card base. Always make sure that the fold is on the left. I don't know how many times I didn't pay attention to that and I put it on upside down. Not a good thing. Okay, now we're going to grab this piece. This is that deckled piece that I already die cut. This is with this die here. Looks like that. And I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the card. And I actually want the underneath here. I forgot that, but that's okay. We didn't put any adhesive under the ribbon. That way I can go ahead and add this now since I forgot to do it earlier. And that looks pretty good there. Now we're going to put on our butterfly. So I'm going to put, oh, I know what I did wrong. Well, I will show you the 2 different ways of doing this. This is what, that white would have been plenty. This was supposed to be what I stamped the butterflies on, but we'll get to see what the 2 different looks look like. If you like them a little lighter, do it on the white cardstock. Or if you like them darker like my original, then you do it on the actual cardstock. I don't want to have to die cut those again, but you'll see them again when I show you the original card. So I'll put these down, and it's just going to go right underneath, like so. I kind of liked it at an angle. And then, oh, there it is. And I've got my butterfly body, and I want it popped up. So I'm going to use some mini Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to put one right here at the top. And one. Oh, hi, Sammy. I just looked over to my YouTube. I'm glad you're here. Okay, where did my Take Your Pick tool go? There we go. You can definitely just use your fingernails, but I like to use my Take Your Pick tool and scoop them up. Oops, I scooped a little too hard on that one. There we go. That way all the pieces go right off. With all that, I don't think I got it off. My goodness. That one's not very sticky. Okay, we are going to put this right across the middle. See, I think I'm kind of liking it with just the white too. That gives it more a softer look. So we've got that there. Now we're going to grab our thank you. I'm going to put mini dimensional again. I'm going to do them near the top. Let's put one right up here. Right here, because we're going to have it go over the ribbon a little bit. And I'll just put one down here near the bottom center. And that should keep it stabilized pretty good. Make sure I've got them pushed down good this time. I think that's what happened. I didn't push that one down. Oh, yeah, those came off really easy. I'm going to put this right here, right over the ribbon. And putting them on the top and the bottom made it so at least a couple of them are going to be on the cardstock and not attached to the ribbon, because that'll make it really flimsy. Now I'm going to take this other piece. I probably didn't have to go with a 6-inch piece. Probably a 4-inch or 5-inch piece would have been fine. But when I do classes, I don't want to confuse them too much, because you're making so many cards and when you're talking, I didn't want them to put, it's a lot easier for them to have two the same size so don't have to worry about putting the wrong ribbon on the wrong place. So I've got that on there. Let me grab my scissors. I'm going to cut this at an angle. And I'm glad I brought my cart over because I forgot to put my flower resin shapes in. And I've got them right here. As you can tell, I'm using these a lot. And I'm just going to use the ones that are the colors I used. This is also, these come with the Best Butterflies bundle. Actually, it's the it's Butterfly Kisses Suite. So the designer series paper, the bundle with the dies and the butterfly stamp set, and these are all in a suite together in the annual catalog. So if you want to buy all these together, you can use that suite number and get it. It's a lot easier just to use the one number, not have to add all three numbers. Now, I put a little flower on the butterfly. I thought that was cute. And I think I'll take a fresh freesia one, and we'll put it up here. And let's do a little parakeet one right down here. And that's all I did. I usually use an odd number. So there's the front of my card, all done. And we'll go ahead. We've got that inside, don't we? I almost forgot. I always like to put something on the inside. It makes it look more special. And it's nice having the white cardstock to write on rather than the colored cardstock on the inside, I think. It just looks a little nicer. So I'm going to put this right here. And we are done with this card. Let me bring in my original. So now you see the two different looks. So if you like the lighter version, you can stamp on the white. And then this is when I just stamped the Parakeet Party ink on the Parakeet Party cardstock. So same here, fresh freesia ink with fresh freesia cardstock. So there are the two different looks. So that's my first thank you card. Hope you like that one. Oh, thanks, Becky. I'm glad you like them. Okay, now we'll get this stuff out of the way, get everything back in its box. That's why I kept all these. Oops, my microphone's going everywhere again. And we are going to get set up with card number 2. And this card is featuring products that I'm going to be using in my July online class. Oops. And it is called Season of Season of Chic bundle. When you look at it, it almost looks like chick. But the colors I'm using, Petal Pink, Soft Succulent, and Soft Suede. So I'll kind of put these over here. Let me show you the card. Isn't this pretty? And the thing I love about the it's called Texture Chic Suite. I love all of the products inside it. It is so pretty. And it's a season. It's for all seasons. Let me show you this stamp set. You've got seashells. That'd be great for summer. The flowers are good for summer and spring. We've got leaves to make fall projects, snowflakes to make winter and Christmas projects. So that's why I decided to do this one in July, because you could think of, isn't it pretty, Becky? I really like it. I thought, okay, a lot of times we do Christmas in July cards, so I thought I'll just cover all 4 seasons. So if you do this class, and I'll have it available probably near the end of this month, and it'll be available to pre-order through the middle of July. I'll give you more information about that later. But this is going to be what is going to be featured in it, plus the die set. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this. Got the dies for everything here. I can't wait to use this one. This is the first card I've made with this set, and I can't wait to use this one. It is really cool. Now, the dies I'm going to need, I've already done the little leaves, and these were the 2 dies I did for those. So I'm going to go and put these back because I don't want to lose them, but I've already cut those out ahead of time, so we're not sitting here too long. But the flowers I couldn't do ahead of time, so I just need this one right here. So I'll be stamping those, and then we'll die cut those out. And I think those are the only dies. That's right, with this set. And I'm using the thanks stamp and the 2 stamps for the flowers. So this is a 2-step stamp. And I'm also using this little splatter one on the inside of the card. And I'm using another stamp set. This one is called Stylish Shapes. I love the little, probably more like a stitched look around the edges of them. I love how we've got different shapes. And the one I will be using, is the large banner one here. This one I've used quite a bit. I really like that one a lot. And let's go ahead and get all the stamps out here, get everything set up. And now, let's see, get all my little papers out. I feel like I'm going to my own camp here. Here are the leaves. And what I did, I die cut them out. We've got some paper that came out last year. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a texture to it. It's gold and rose gold specialty paper. So that is what I put that in. So if I wanted rose gold, I could go with that, but the gold looked better with the color scheme I was using. So this one, these were die cut out of a 4 by 1.5 inch piece. So I'm going to put these in my little dish so I don't lose them. Get my scissors over here. Then I've got 2 pieces of basic white. They're both 4.5 by 1.5. And I love this paper. I wish I had room to show you the whole pack. It's a specialty designer series paper called Texture Chic. Some of them have the gold, like this side has gold to it. And so does this. So one side of the design, it's because they're double-sided, has the gold foil. Hopefully you can see that. And then the other sides don't. Now these are the sides I'm using on my card. So I'm going to put these over to the side. All of these are 1.5 by 3. That's what the sizes those are. Then these are the matte form. So these are soft succulent pieces, 1 5/8 by 3 1/8. Then I did this with the painted texture folder. This came out probably a little over a year ago. And this is what I went ahead and embossed it ahead of time. My camp ladies I emboss these for them ahead of time. And this was an extra pack. So I just decided to use it. This is the inside of the card, 4 by 5 1/4. And then our base is soft succulent, 8.5 by 5.5. So let's go ahead and get some stamping done first. I'm going to put these over here. We're going to be stamping these 2 pieces and this inside piece. I'm going to put this over to the side. So I need to look on, oh yeah, couldn't remember what I did on the inside. So we are going to stamp thanks. Oh, I better grab my Stampin' Pierce mat again. This is a photopolymer. I'm going to take my big thanks. I love the font on this one. And soft succulent ink. Oh, hi, Carol. I'm glad you're here from Connecticut. So I've got somebody from the East Coast and the West Coast. Pretty cool. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want soft suede. We are going to clean this. I definitely don't want the soft suede. It probably would have looked okay, but it looks so much better with the soft succulent color. So we'll get this over to the side. I was thinking flowers instead of the thanks. So let me show you how cool this looks. You can kind of see it clear, but then when it's stamped, it looks so much cooler. It's a nice big thanks. I think that it just definitely looks handwritten. I couldn't handwrite that well. My handwriting really stinks. Okay, then we're going to get another piece. This other piece is the same size. Now we're going to do the flowers. And whenever I do a 2-step, I always start with the outline and what the darker color is. Because when you go to line these up, it's better to have the second one be the lighter color because you can see through the lighter color to the dark one on the paper. It just makes it so much easier when you go to stamp the second one. So I'm going to put this here. I made it extra big so there'd be plenty of room. So we only need the 2. Okay. Now, one thing I figured out with this stamp, there is a section that is flat. So I don't know if you can see that. This one had that too. And there is the flat section right here. So that's how I can line these up. I'm going to need to stand up again. I stay sitting for my microphone, but I need to be able to see what I'm doing here, and I want you to see it too. So I'm going to line that flat area at the bottom. Then I can just do the rest of it. See how much easier it is to look through that light color and see that dark outline on the bottom. So that's why I always start with the dark first. And I love, and when I was a 2-step, I always look for petals that look different from the others. So this one made it a little easier because it's got that one flat side. That way I could line it up better. So now we've got those stamped. And while we're at it, let's go ahead. I don't know why I closed all those. We're going to do our inside of our card. I want to make sure, because I've done this before. I don't know how many of you have done this. I usually do portrait cards, and I forget if it's a landscape, and I end up stamping the inside this way. I have to remember, we're doing the landscape, so let's do it this way. Now, I'm going to grab this again. We're going to stamp the same flower. I am going to use the splatter stamp with this too. So we're going to put this down here at the bottom because I wanted a little more than just the flower here. Then we'll bring in that petal pink again. Line up that flat side with the other flat side. There we go. Now, I wanted some splatter just to go across here, just to get that texture with it. Now, I'm going to use my soft succulent, and I don't want it to be too dark because that's going to just, it's not going to look right around that flower. Now, I could have put this on first. It really doesn't matter whether you do it first or second, but I'm going to stamp this off to get a lighter version of the color and then stamp like that. So that gives me a little texture and just makes it look a little neater. Gets that artsy look. So now we're done with all the stamping. So we get all these ink pads out of the way. It's helping me to put things away as we go to make room for the next card. So I'm going to put this over here. Now we're going to grab the little Stampin' Emboss machine again. Got all my little pieces of tape, so it should be a little easier to put this together, get it all set up again. Now this one I don't think, well, wait a minute. Oh, it really doesn't matter, but I think we can go ahead and do it this way. So I am going to have to at least run it through twice since we have, the 2 flowers. I'll put this here. Once I've got it where I want it, I'll put one here and one here. And I think I'm going to die cut this one because I've got a little tape underneath this one. I don't want to cause a problem here. So we're going to do this one. And you know what? I think I might have one cut. So when I was getting this box out, I think one of my ladies made an extra one. I'll have to check that out. If there is an extra one, I'll just use that one. That way we don't have to sit and watch me cut another one. So now we've got our tape on there. I'll run this through. And voila, we will be ready to put this together. So I'm going to get those little pieces of tape off. And this is the stitching I was telling you about. And the neat thing with this, the stylish shapes, if you wanted to make a frame, like if I want to use this frame, see how it made the dots? Hopefully you can see that. Can't tell if you can or not. But little dots right around the border too. So you can put a greeting underneath it and still have that nice little stitched border around it. Pretty cool. It does it at the same time. So there was our thanks. And then here's our flower. And I'm going to look. Oop, the tape is, there we go. And I'm going to look and see if I've got that extra flower. I sure do. There we go. So we'll just go ahead and use that one. Whoever did that, thank you. I know it was one of my ladies. Okay, so we'll get these dies in here. And we'll get all of this out of the way. Oh, I'm knocking things around here. Sorry, I got to fix my tablet here so I can see. There we go. See any comments on Facebook? Don't want to miss those. Oh, Kathleen, aren't they? I really like those flowers a lot. They really are cute. I can't wait to do the cards for this class. I really like this set a lot. Okay, now I'm going to grab all of these pieces. We're going to get these DSP pieces together here. Like I said, these are 1 5/8 by 3 1/8. The reason I used those kind of odd sizes, I only wanted a thin border around here. Normally, when I do a border, I make the matte part 1/4 of an inch wider and 1/4 of an inch longer. But if I want it to be a narrow one, it's 1/8 of an inch. So we'll put this here. And it also helped it fit better on my card. If I did 1/4 of an inch wider and taller, they wouldn't have fit. And I liked having those 3 and not just 2 of them. So this is the side I picked. And the neat thing with this card layout, you could use any stamp set probably you had, any designer series paper. And this makes it so you can use your scraps up too. And this is the side I used. So if you've got some little scraps about this size, and you can do this layout too. And it shows off more of the patterns too. And I'll put this on here. There we go. I thought that one, since this one's kind of dark, I wanted a lighter one. And then I just had to put, and this one, the way it's textured, if you look at my original, there is more pink showing on this one. So this one's still has some of the petal pink, but not a lot, but it's still going to look good. So we'll go ahead, put this around here. Oh, there for a minute I thought I was running out of the... Nope, I got plenty on here. I'll put this here in the middle. Seems like when I have lives is when my adhesive likes to go out. But this time I think we're good. Okay, so now we're going to grab the card base. Oops, almost lost my ribbon. And this was, like I said, soft succulent. Let's get those corners lined up. Where'd my bone folder go? There it is. We'll put this here. Once again, I'm going to put ribbon on here because I thought it just needed a little something. But before I do that, let's put these down. I almost did it in the wrong order. So I think the easiest, kind of lay them down here so you can see how close they need to be, and they need to be pretty close. So I think it's easier to do the outer ones first. So I'm going to put a little bit on here. I'm going to center it from the top and bottom. I'm going to put it real close, probably about 1/8 of an inch away from, actually probably 1/16, a little less than 1/8 of an inch from the edge here, like so. Then this was my other one on the end. Get this more adhesive on here. I'm eyeballing it, making sure it's lined up with the top and bottom of the first one, but still putting it near the edge. Actually, really all I need to look at is that these are about the same width here because I did the same thing here, so those should line it up just fine. Now we'll put this one right smack dab in the middle. I think it's a lot easier, it makes it look more uniform if you do it that way. If I were to start here and put one here, this one might be having a wider edge around it. It just wouldn't look right. So now I can just center this between the two that are on there, and it works just fine. So that's just a little trick if you're putting pieces like this. Oh, that Post-it tape, Margaret, I got that on Amazon. So I should have put a link down in my video description. I don't know if I'll find it again, but just put in Post-it tape. I think it also, when you look at it, you can write on that tape too. So it might say something about write on Post-it tape or something like that. But I love it. It works really good. Now, that one I had, I think it's 1/4 of an inch. There's also one that's 1 inch wide. And that's, I've got it here somewhere. I just don't see it. That's the one I probably use the most because it holds the die down better and I don't have to use so many little strips. But that little one, as you saw, still works too. Oh, here, let me just look at this. Labeling and cover-up tape. There we go. That's what it's called. So let me put that a little closer. If my screen will, there we go. It's a little blurry there for a second. Post-it, labeling, and cover-up tape. So I found this on Amazon. I'm sure you can find it in some office supply stores too. So this one, this is a little wider and it doesn't have that open weave in the middle. So let me grab my silicone mat. Whenever I put adhesive on something that's a little narrower, I always like to put this underneath because then any adhesive that comes off the sides here can go on here and not my workspace. And I can rub it off later. Okay, so I've got some adhesive on both ends. This is another way I just wrap ribbon around. I think that looks about right. Put this around. I'm looking at my designer series paper, making sure that these are all about the same width at the bottom. Put that across like so. Now we will put this on the card base. I thought this painted, let's see, what's it called again? Painted texture, yeah, 3D embossing folder. Looked really good with the textured cheek. It goes along with the texture theme. And we're going to put this right here in the middle, like so. And now we'll grab the thanks. And I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. And then I can slide the flowers underneath. So I think I'm going to put 3 of them right across the middle, one on each end. And actually, I didn't put them on real hard. Let's see if I can lift these up. It's going to be better if I put them, I forgot, we're going over some ribbon. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to do this. Put one up here. That way I've got some that's attached to the cardstock and not just, to the cardstock and not the ribbon. It's okay to have a couple of them on the ribbon, but you need at least one that's not. That way it attaches a lot better. And then we will put the thanks right here. And I could stop right here. So if you didn't want to put any flowers on here to make it a little more masculine, you definitely could. And there's that. But we want to add those flowers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of lay these down where I want them. And I'm only going to put adhesive on the middle section here. Okay, that way I can slide those leaves under there. Okay, so we'll do this. I'm going to put this one up here. And I kind of wish I had done it a little different. It looks like I'm hitting a dimensional there, but I think I can make it work. I should have had them more in the middle. That way I could fit this wherever I wanted it. But I think it's going to work out just fine. Oh, yeah, good. I was afraid it was going to be hanging over the side of the card. It's not. So there we go. Now I'm going to take these. I'm going to grab my silicone mat again. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive right here at the stem. And because I only put adhesive near the the middle, I can lift this up and slide it in there. Oop, actually, I want this one to go this way. I just looked at mine. There we go. Yeah, I like that better. I think it looks better going around the thanks. Now I'm going to grab a little one. So that was one of the big leaves because they're two different sizes. Put a little bit of adhesive on the bottom of this one. Lift this up. Oops. And get a hold of it. There we go. And we'll stick that right there. So now we've got that flower all done. We'll grab this leaf. This is the larger one. Put a little bit of adhesive on here. I'm kind of holding onto it here because I don't want to tear it by accident with all that little detail. And the reason I'm only putting it near the bottom is because I don't want a lot of adhesive showing through those holes. We'll lift this up. Stick it under there. There we go. And we've got one more to go. Now the next card, there's no die cutting. And I'm going to be using my Stamparatus. It's going to come together really fast. I knew the first two would take a little bit longer, but they still don't take that long, do they? They go pretty quick. There we go. And that is the outside of the card all done. Now let's go ahead and get our inside in. We've got our flower there. Now you could have it to be on the top or on the bottom. And once again, I tend to put them all on the bottom. Sometimes I'll put something on the top. Oops. Had some stuff off my work surface stick to it. Then we will put this right here in the middle. And now you can write any greeting you want to on the inside. So the left one is my original and the right one is one I just made. Now don't forget, if you share my video and then comment shared, you will get all the cards I'm making today. Or one of each, that is. I'll keep one for my stash. But you'll get the one I'm making during the class. Okay, or the video, I mean. Okay, we are ready. Oh, I'm glad I put everything in the box already. Now we can do the second card real quick. This one is the one that is probably, it could definitely be masculine. It can be anybody that loves the beach. Now this is the Paradise Palms bundle. Now the stamp set and the dies are called Palms dies, are all in the annual catalog. But the bundle, oh, thanks Carol for sharing. If the bundle itself that saves you 10% is not in the annual catalog. But it's still in the January to June catalog that ends June 30th. So if you want to get them out, not using the dies, but I wanted to get them out to show them to you. So here are the dies, and here's the stamp set. So in the annual catalog, you can, after June 30th, you can purchase these separately. But if you want to get that 10% off bundle to get both of them, you're going to want to get them before the end of January. And get them through the annual catalog. That's where you can find the bundle number. Not annual catalog, mini catalog. Sorry about that. January, June mini catalog. I've got too many catalogs going on. We're getting ready for the July to December catalog. Whenever there's a retiring catalog, it's always hard to keep everything track. So the bundle is in the January to June mini, and you can still get them separately in the annual catalog after that. Now, the stamps I'm using, this is going to be the inside of the card. I'm using these two trunks and these two palm leaves. I'm also using this one right here. And I think that is it. Yes, it is. So those are the stamps I'm using. I'm also using a die set. Oh, I thought I had it over here. Oh, here it is. I forgot I moved it. This one is called the, let me find it here. Oh, Amazing Thanks dies. Now, the neat thing with these dies, these came out in the mini, but they're also in the annual catalog. This is says amazing. It's hard to tell because it's backwards. This is the mask for it. So you can put this on top and make a really neat mask. And I'm going to be doing that with the thanks, as you can see. So these are the two that I used. And I went ahead and die cut them ahead of time. And this is how I made this. So you see the early espresso matte in the back. That just makes it pop a lot more. So let's go ahead and put this together. Like I said, I used my Stampin' Up. That's the old tool we had and wasn't near as good as this. Stamparatus. You can tell I've been a Stampin' Up demonstrator for 19 years. So every once in a while I quote the old products from years ago. Don't ask me why. Now, as you can tell, this paper's a little messed up. I didn't want to have to redo everything from my class, so I just kept it all the way it was. So what I did, these little marks here tell me where to line up the right corners of my piece of paper, okay? And whenever you use this paper here, I could put it on this without the paper, but I didn't want to write on this. So I wanted to use the paper. That way I can just throw this paper away later. So when you put the paper in, you always want to make sure it's up against the edges here because you always want it in the right spot. So you're watching this and you're watching the piece of paper you're doing. So let me get my little packet out here. I am going to need this one right here. This one is, I have to look at, I've got too many sheets here, 3 by 4 inch piece. So I'm going to line those corners up right there where I wrote those little lines. Now I'm going to take my magnet here, make it moved on me a little bit, and put it right in this very corner here. Because when I put this down, I don't want my magnet to be in the way of that sunshine that we're going to be putting on, okay? Now, the neat thing with a Stamparatus, you can do this in different orders. I'm even going to do it in a different order just to show you what I mean. It's kind of cool. Normally, you would probably, when you look at this, you think, okay, I think you probably stamp the ground here, then the palm trees and the sun. Well, let's do the sun first. So I'm grabbing my crushed curry. That's the color I used. And the paper, the designer series paper I'm using is called Artfully Composed, and that is retiring. So if you really like this paper, and I think it goes really good with this palm paper, palm set, you'll want to get it right away. As far as I know, it's still available. Last time I looked, it hadn't retired yet. Because once it sells out, you won't be able to get it again. So you make sure you get that. But like I said, it's called Artfully Composed. So I'm going to bring this down. So what I did when I went to stamp this, I laid these down on my paper where I wanted them, then put this down, and then they stuck to the paper, to this right here. That way, if I wanted to make a ton of these cards, which we made 8 of them that night, I can mass produce them by just putting my paper in the right place, and these will stamp them in the same place every time. So I love this tool. So here, I've got that inked up with the crushed curry, and I even marked, so I do this for my class. You could do this for you too. I put the colors on here with my Sharpie marker. And then when I'm all done, then I can take like hand sanitizer, anything with alcohol, and this will come right off. That's just a little tip. I learned that from my upline. So we're going to put this down. There's my sun. And now we want to do the sand. So you pick this up, twirl it around, and put it back in. I'm going to bring this down so you can see where there we go, where the Sahara sand is. So I'm going to grab, I picked up the wrong color. We'll just use crumb cake. I meant to grab Sahara sand. I did crumb cake. This will work. So we will put this in, because I went back and forth on whether to use Sahara sand or the crumb cake. And no, actually I did use crumb cake. I was just thinking it was Sahara sand. I told them, I probably mixed my ladies up because it was crumb cake, not Sahara sand. Okay, so we're going to put this down here. And see, since I've got it all placed where it needs to go, it went right where I wanted it. And so we are all done with this one. So let's bring this one up a little bit so you can see it. This one is Old Olive. So I did get the right ink pad out. I just didn't get the right color written down. But this one is right. We want the Old Olive. And I went ahead and put them on the same plate because since they're the same color, we can do them at the exact same time. Another plus with this. So I think when I first stamped it, I stamped these first, figured out where I wanted them, then I lined those up and went from there. But now, like I said, it doesn't matter what order I do them in. Put that down. There, we've got that. We will turn this over. Normally, I would probably clean them off in between two, but I didn't want you to have to sit here and wait for me to do that, so I will clean them afterward. This is my early espresso. So we'll get this all inked up. And the neat thing about this, if I didn't ink it up right the first time, let's say I put this down. I'm going to intentionally not do very good. See how I didn't get that part right there? I can go back. Actually, I didn't push down, so there's enough ink on there. This is still going to be in the same spot. So then I can go back in, push it down. There we go. And now I've got it stamped just right. And the other reason I use this paper, this trunk is off the paper. That way I'm not stamping on this bottom part. Now that is everything. So I did it out of order and it looks just like my original card did. So that's another plus with the Stamparatus. Now, one thing I want to tell you, when you go to put this away, you don't want to put it like this. See, this one is still kind of up. So I want to take that out and just lay it on top until I get the stamps off. I don't want to have that ruined. And I'm always put my magnet back underneath here. If there are two of them, I try to just use one because if they clang together, they will break. It'll just make a big mess. So they're very powerful magnets too, and you don't want to pinch your fingers. So we've got this ready to go. Let me get all my other pieces here. Let's put that thanks together. Now, I did do these ahead of time. Like I said, I used adhesive sheets. So both the size of the old olive piece and the size of the adhesive sheet were the same. They were both 3.5 by 1.25. So what I did, I took the backing off of one side of the adhesive sheet piece and put it on the back of the old olive piece. Then when the old olive piece was facing up, then I ran the thanks die through the die cutting machine. And that way I'm die cutting through the adhesive sheet on the back and the cardstock. And that makes a nice little sticker. And I think I'm going to try to see if I can get this little, oh, the center didn't go all the way through. I can tell it did the cardstock. It didn't this, but that's okay. We're going to peel that off anyway. So let's see if I can get this going. Once you get it going, it's really easy to take off. Now, some of the adhesive sheets, I've got one pack where the paper you peel off is in one big piece. This one came off in strips. So I'm just going to keep going until I get all the strips off. It just depends. And let's get that little piece out because it definitely cut through the cardstock. There we go. Don't need that. It just didn't quite get through the paper backing of the adhesive. See if I can get a hold of this. Come on. My fingers aren't working. I'm afraid I'm going to tear it. Usually the second piece comes up easier than the first. There we go. And you want to be careful, especially with these thin ones, when you start taking off the paper backing. Don't pull real fast. You want to go nice and slow and kind of stop between each letter so you don't tear them. Now, I've kind of stretched out that end. So what I'm going to do, let me get this up here a little closer, or up a little bit so you can see it. I'm going to start on one end. I want to make sure, I'm going to stand up here again. I want to make sure that S is right where it needs to be. And it is. So now I can push that down. Then I'll put the K down and kind of turn it, twist it the way I need it. There, that looks good. Now the N I'm going to put back into position again, or shape again. That's the word I'm trying to think of. The older I get, I have trouble remembering words I want to say. So just keep playing with it until you get it right in the center of the mat. And I love the adhesive sheets, especially with something like this. You could definitely use multi-purpose glue or fine tip glue pen. But the adhesive sheet here, I've just made that thanks into a sticker. And it just goes on. I don't have to worry about it coming off. There we go. So now we've got that thanks all ready to go. Isn't that cool? I love that. Okay, now we're going to put this together. It's going to go together really quick. Here's our card base, the 8.5 by 5.5 old olive cardstock. Line those corners up. And then, I'm going to read. Okay, hi, Standy. I don't think I've seen your name pop up yet. Stamparatus and the additional plate. It is a good tool, isn't it? Sometimes I forget to use it. I've been, like I said earlier, I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 19 years. And I got so used to using the blocks that sometimes I forget about the Stamparatus, and I always love it when I get it out. So I've got definitely used that more often. Now, I also used, this is a piece of crumb cake. It's 4 by 5.25. And this is used with a time-worn type 3D embossing folder. I've used this quite a few times. Oh, let's see, what? Oh, what did I wrap? Good question, Margaret. Let me grab one of those magnets. I think this makes it so much easier to hold on to. I'm glad you said that because I totally forgot. I did this such a long time ago. The magnets don't come with this. This is actually some old washi tape we used to sell. And I did 3 layers of it. If you only use 1 layer, when you pull up this magnet, it's going to break on you. So this is actually 3 or 4 layers of washi tape. And then I just made like a flag. So I had the ends come together and stick together here. And that gives me a nice little handle to be able to pick up that magnet a lot easier. I saw another demonstrator do that a long time ago, and I thought, oh, that's such a good idea. So if it's washi tape, definitely use at least 3 or 4 pieces. That way it's nice and thick and it doesn't tear on you. So let me get that back in there so I don't lose it. There we go. I'm still using the same set of magnets. Hopefully it'll stay that way. So I'm a little paranoid. So here's that neat texture, time-worn type. I use this one a lot. Now, it is time-worn. There is some type. I always want to see there are a few words on here, so I'll make sure my letters aren't upside down, so I am holding it the right way. So we'll turn this over. Get that adhesive going again. There we go. Put some in each corner so I don't have my corners popping up. There we go. We'll put this right here in the center of the card. And here is a piece of that artfully composed DSP I was telling you about. Isn't that neat? I just think it's got so many different leaves. It has just some regular designs too. But there's so many different palm leaves and things like that in this. So this is that artfully composed designer series paper in the January to June mini. And it is retiring. And I think it's on sale too. I meant to write that down. I forgot. A lot of the designer series paper is on sale. And I think this is one of the ones on sale. So make sure you check that out. So just there's a link to my online store in the video description below or in the comments if you're watching on Facebook. And just click on that and go to the search engine at the top and put in artfully composed and you'll find it. So there's that. I'm going to put that here on the right. Then I have a mat for this. Now this one I went with my regular 1/4 inch wider and longer. So this one is a piece of Evening Evergreens. It's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I'll put this on this on the middle of it. I could have just put the white on there, but I thought that was, that does look good if you just want to do it that way. I liked having a little bit of a darker background because I think it makes it pop a little bit more. So put this right here. So all the colors I took out of the designer series paper or DSP. So whenever you hear me say DSP, that's what I mean. Now I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. I think this is going to be easier to put on right now like this. So grab this again, and I'm just going to put some adhesive in different places. I could use glue dots too for that matter, but just in the sections that are a little wider. That's the neat thing about the mat. The mat's a little bit thicker. I wouldn't be able to do this with the, everyone smile. If you don't get adhesive with our seal, sometimes you're supposed to do like a little check mark to get the adhesive to cut. Sometimes it kind of pulls it off a little bit if you don't get it, just do that check just right. And I do that sometimes. Just have to wheel it and get it started again. So I've got enough adhesive on there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this right across the bottom. I still want to see my sand, but I don't want it covering up any of my palm at the top. So let's put it about in the middle. And the neat thing with the seal too, you can remove it within the first 10 minutes of putting it down. But I usually just lay it down nice and easy. And then when I know where I want it, then I push it down. So I don't have to worry about that. Now I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. I use dimensionals on almost all my cards. Now, if you want to mail cards, I suggest only popping up one layer. If you do more than that, you're going to make that envelope a little too fat, and the post office is going to charge you more on postage. So I usually just do one layer popped up. And since this is a kind of a big piece, let's put one right in the middle so it doesn't cave in the middle. We'll take these off, and we are almost done with all 3 cards. This is a little longer video. See how long have we been on? Oh, just a little over an hour. That's not bad for 3 cards. And me stopping and giving you a bunch of tips in between. That's what slowed us down a little bit, but I like giving you tips so you know how to make it later. So there we go. So we're going to put this right in the middle. Let's grab this. Now, because I didn't really have any room and I was using markers, I think doing what I'm going to do now is a little easier without the Stamparatus. So I'm using this one here. I wanted to have green here and brown here, okay? So I thought it was just as easy just to go ahead and put the green with my marker on the leaves, the top of the palm tree. That's what I'm trying to think of. Okay, get this on. So this is another way to use your Stampin' Right markers. Now you can't use our blends this way. They're alcohol markers. They will actually stain your stamp too, but they dry super fast since they're alcohol ink. These are water-based, so it takes a little longer for the ink to dry. And I always use the brush tip there's a writing tip on one side, but that doesn't work on stamps. You need to use the brush tip. So now I've got those all colored in. Now I'm going to huff on this. Let's go ahead. So when I do live videos, I did this in my last video. When I do live videos, I can actually show you. I put my hand around it like this, and then I huff on it. It's like doing your glasses when you're going to, so it's all moistened up again. I've even got the block moistened up. So let's switch again, and we will put this right down here in the bottom left corner. There we go, and now we've got the two colors for our palm branch. Now let me get after switching cameras, I lost my YouTube chat. Let me get that back up. Okay. And then we will put this, let's see, did I miss something? Oh, nope, that was the same one. I saw Margaret's post. I thought it was another one. It's one I just answered. Okay, so we will put this right in the middle. And we will be done with all 3 thank you cards. So I love this campaign that Stampin' Up! Decided to do. There's no special to it, but it's just to get people to send more cards. If you ever get a card in the mail, it just really can cheer somebody up. Let me grab my other card here I made. There we go. So here are all 3 thank you cards, all totally different. This one's a little more elegant probably. This one's a little more whimsical, and this is just a good one for anybody that loves the beach. So if you make any thank you cards and send them out, you're going to make somebody's day when they get those in the mail. So let's switch. And if you share, like I said, if you share I'm always repeat this throughout the video because some people come in late. But if you share my video and comment shared in either the live chat on Facebook or in the comments below in the video on Facebook, so mark shared, share the video, then you will get put in the drawing to get the cards. Next, and I will announce the winner next week. If you are watching the recording, I'm going to keep it on this screen just so you can see the cards. If you are watching the recorded version of this, which will come up right after the live's over, you can still participate. I'm going to give everybody till 11 a.m. Eastern Time next Tuesday, which is going to be June 14th. And now I'll go ahead and go to me. And if you comment shared and share the video, then I will put you in the drawing, even if you're watching the recorded version. So don't think, oh, I didn't see it live, I can't participate. You definitely can. You've got a whole week, so it'll be Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, to share my video and comment shared, and you'll get put in the drawing to get those cards. Okay, I've got, we're all done here. Let me go ahead and show you next week. I'll be back again, June 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm not sure what kind of cards I'm going to be doing yet. I'm hoping it should be fun. But I'll come up with some cards again for next week. And I hope you join me. I had a lot of fun, guys. I hope you did too. And I hope to see you again next week. Have a great week. I'll see you later. Bye, guys.